Today, we're talking about the 5 best heroes to book for your roster. Let's dive into it. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. If you don't know me, I'm BearCozy. I strive to make not only entertaining, but also educational videos. And today, I want to talk about the 5 best heroes, in my opinion, that are worth your books. Now, I know books are very hard to get in this game. They're pretty difficult to obtain, so we want to maximize the value of the books, and we want to take advantage the best we can to make our heroes stronger, and we want to target heroes that will help us in almost everywhere. Jumping into this, the number one, of course, is everyone's favorite, is Nathalia. Now, if you don't know, Nathalia does a lot of damage. She's one of the best damage dealers, and she is an epic, which means she needs epic books, and she is absolutely amazing. Now, if we look at her mastery, mine is booked 15 out of 15, and she is one of 2 epics that I have booked, and that's it. Right now, I've been saving all of my books. I haven't really booked anybody except for Nathalia because she has been really helping me out. Now, looking at her physique, as you can see, you get crit damage, health, defense, and a bunch of other stats. And then you also get 23% crit rate from the books, which means you can focus more on her crit damage and less on crit rate. And by having a lower crit rate requirement means you can focus more on her crit damage. Now, mine right now is at 330. I have seen higher, but I feel like this is pretty good. And her attack is over 5,500. I have seen 7,000 attack, so mine still needs work, but this is the best that I can do at the moment. Now, Nathalia is amazing. She does help me almost everywhere. I use her in Witch of the Wind. I use her in Queen of Tides. I use her in Ash Magisteria. And I use her in Arena and Hard Void Tower. So I use her in a lot of places. By the way, some of these dungeons, I'm talking about level 15 and 16, right? Hell Stage 3 and Hell Stage 4. If we look at Witch of the Wind, which is the 2x event going on right now, this is my team, and Nathalia is in it. And the same thing for Ash Magisteria. Nathalia is also in Ash Magisteria as well. As you can see, she is right there, and I use her in a lot of different places. Now, Nathalia is number 1. Let's jump into number 2. And number 2, in my opinion, is going to be Joseph. Now, Joseph is an elite hero, and what makes Joseph really good is, of course, he's very easy to get. By the way, you can get him from the basic shards. You can summon all you need. I've gotten 1 million copies of this guy just by pulling basics. It's very easy. And what makes Joseph really good is he's paired really well with other heroes because of the attack up and the defense up. And he is also paired really well with Nathalia, because now Nathalia does not need a guard set. So what makes Joseph really good and worth the books is, of course, not only the ability cooldown for the buffs, but also he has an immune once he's fully booked. Every 2 turns, he places an immune, which is absolutely amazing, which means your heroes don't take any damage, right? So he is very good, and in my opinion, he is really worth the books, and he works with lots of different comps, especially early on, to give your heroes and your whole team a lot more survivability. And by the way, if you are struggling in Ash Magisteria, he does remove the bomb in Ash Magisteria, so feel free to use him. Diving into number 3. Now, number 3 is going to be in the Soul Plunderers faction, and that is going to be Abaddon. Abaddon has always been really good, and recently he has gotten a big damage increase buff in one of the recent patches, and a lot of people use him in the banker. He's very good in the banker, and he is really worth the books in my opinion, especially if you are planning on using him. Now, if you don't care about the banker, he may not be the best investment for you. I know some of you care more about Arena than Banker, but in my opinion, he is worth every single book because he is really good in Banker, and that is where you get a lot of your resources, not to mention some bragging rights for pulling in good damage. Now, right now, I don't have Abaddon. He's grayed out. If I had him, I would definitely book him for sure. Jumping in to number 4. Number 4 is going to be Boolin. Surprise. If you don't know, Boolin is amazing in the banker. She's pretty good in Arena as well. Mine is only 1 star ascended. You probably can't see that. And she has no books. But Boolin is actually very, very good because of the lightning shield, the lightning recharge, also the debuff as well. Her passive does put up induction, so she deals extra damage there. And if you did not know, she also takes twice as much rage off the banker, allowing your team to last longer and do more damage. Now, I use Boolin in the banker, as I've mentioned. I use Boolin in Queen of Tides 15 and 16. I use her in Arena when I need to, and I use her in Heart Void Tower. She also strips buffs. She is actually really, really good, a lot better than I thought. Now, my first impressions of Boolin, of course, were of Gazlowe. If you are a Blizzard fan, you know that Gazlowe looks like this, and this looks like a little bit of a clone of Gazlowe, but nonetheless, she is really worth books. So if you have her, feel free to use her in a bunch of different areas because she does strip buffs. She also takes the rage off the banker. For every shot she does, she takes twice as much rage off the banker. And then, of course, she also has a chance to attack as well when your other heroes attack. So Boolin is really, really good. Right now, mine is not booked at all, but I am going to book her in the future. She is worth every single book, but I wanted to save some books just in case I got somebody better. Now, number 5, jumping into number 5. Number 5, there's a toss-up for me. There are a few heroes that I like. I really like Ashland. I made a hero showcase on Ashland. Ashland is absolutely amazing. She does really good damage. She also silences. She has really good control. She also has a nice stun. Defense up. There's a lot of different things that she does. Ashland is amazing. Also, another one that is really, really good is Marion Shadowblood. Marion Shadowblood is tied for number 5. By the way, my Marion Shadowblood is booked. She is booked. So if you are wondering, is she worth books? She is worth books. However, I wanted to make a video on who is valued the most, in my opinion. And the other one I am really, really tied on is going to be Satoshi. The other one that is tied for number 5 is Satoshi. Now, why is Satoshi really good? Well, if we go ahead and look at his special, he does a lot of damage. He also deals bonus damage based on the target's max health. He also only needs 70% crit rate. So if he kills, he stacks an attack up on himself up to max stacks. He already does really good damage, and he has really good survivability. I made a video with him in basic gear, pretty standard gear. Just took gear off of Opal, slapped it on him, and I ran him in Queen of Tides 15 with no healer, with Jonathan, Nathalia, and I believe Boolin, and he actually did really, really well. If you haven't seen that video, check that video out. I was pretty impressed, and right now his gear is A-okay. The stats are not fantastic. I did steal some gear off of him, but as you can see, he can use a lot of work. So he is tied for number 5, but if I had to choose, I would say Ashland. If you do have Ashland, go ahead and pick Ashland because she does amazing. She does lots of different things really, really well. And then, of course, Poker Rain does a ton of damage with increased damage taken, and that is good for Heart Void Tower and Arena. So there are my top 5 heroes. If you agree or if you disagree, let me know in the comments below who you would have picked out of my roster, or even in the heroes that I don't have out of the index. Some of the heroes that I don't have, I did not have a chance to test out just yet, so I did not put them in here as my opinion of the top 5 best heroes to book. But let me know in the comments down below. Also, do me a huge favor, hit the like and the subscribe, and for more BearCozy videos, check out the top right.